All right, so welcome to another deep dive.
Yeah.
This time, we're taking you on a journey
Ooh,
into
wow.
the world of Ethereum. You might have heard of it
Mm.
as a cryptocurrency, but trust me,
Oh, yeah.
there's so much more to it
Way more.
than just digital money.
Right.
We're talking about a platform that's like a
It's like a...
global open source computer.
It is, yeah.
And get this, it recently underwent a major change
It did. Huge.
that made it significantly more eco-friendly.
Yeah, that's right. Ethereum's often
Wow.
lumped in with other cryptocurrencies,
Yeah.
but it's fundamentally different.
Okay.
It's a programmable blockchain,
Interesting.
which means it can run something called smart contracts.
Smart contracts. That sounds intriguing.
Yeah.
But I have to admit, I'm not exactly sure what they are.
So think of it like this.
Okay.
A traditional contract is an agreement between two or more parties.
Yeah.
Right.
Right?
Well, a smart contract is essentially that.
Okay.
But it's written in code and executed automatically on the blockchain.
So instead of needing lawyers and paperwork,
You got it.
the terms of the agreement are automatically enforced by the network.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so it takes the human element out of the equation.
Yeah.
I can see how that would be appealing in some situations.
Yeah. Right.
But what kind of things can these smart contracts actually do?
Well, the possibilities are practically endless.
Really?
That's what makes Ethereum so unique.
Interesting.
Smart contracts can power decentralized applications,
Okay.
dApps for short,
BAPS. Got it.
that run without any central control.
No central control.
So imagine a lending platform
Yeah.
where you could borrow or lend money
Right.
directly with others, cutting out the banks entirely.
Wow.
Or how about decentralized exchanges,
Yeah.
where you can trade crypto without needing a traditional exchange?
Whoa. Cutting out the middleman entirely.
That's right.
That's a game changer. No more pesky fees
Go?
or waiting for approvals.
Right.
But I'm also thinking about like those online games
Yeah, right.
where you spend hours collecting items
Yeah.
and building up your character
Uh-huh.
only to have it all disappear
Oh, yeah.
if your account gets hacked.
Totally.
Could smart contracts solve that problem?
Absolutely.
Really?
Imagine owning those in-game items
Right.
in a way that's truly yours,
Like actually mine.
recorded on the blockchain.
Oh, wait.
You could trade them
Oh.
or sell them with other players,
Yeah.
just like you would with physical collectibles.
Okay.
And that's the power of NFTs,
NFTs, right.
which are essentially digital tokens
Okay.
representing ownership of unique assets.
Got it.
And Ethereum was the first to really unlock their potential.
Okay. That's pretty mind-blowing.
It is pretty cool.
So we've got smart contracts,
Yeah.
dApps,
Uh,
and NFTs,
Hmm.
all built on this decentralized platform.
That's right.
It sounds like Ethereum is more of a revolution
It's big.
than just a technology.
Yeah. It's a whole new way of thinking about things.
But if Ethereum can do all of this,
Yeah.
why does Bitcoin still get so much attention?
Well, that's a good question.
Are they both just cryptocurrencies?
Well, yes and no.
Okay.
They both use blockchain technology,
Right.
but their purposes are fundamentally different.
Okay.
Bitcoin was primarily designed as a digital currency,
Okay.
like digital gold.
Uh-huh.
It's meant to be a store of value,
Okay.
not a platform for building applications.
So it's like comparing a simple calculator
Uh-huh.
to a powerful smartphone.
Yeah.
One has a limited function, while the other
Mm-hmm.
opens up a world of possibilities.
That's a great analogy, and that's what really sets Ethereum apart.
Yeah.
It's not just about transactions. It's about creating a whole new way
Okay.
for applications to exist and interact.
But let's talk about the elephant in the room,
Sure.
the environmental impact.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot about cryptocurrencies being energy hogs.
Hmm.
Is Ethereum guilty of that too?
That's a valid concern.
Yeah.
And it's something that the Ethereum developers took very seriously.
Good.
Remember how we talked about Ethereum being a programmable blockchain?
Yeah.
Well, that programmability allowed for a fundamental shift in how it operates.
Okay.
Before, it used a system called proof of work,
Proof of work.
which required massive amounts of energy
Wow.
to secure the network.
Proof of work, wasn't that the system that involved miners
Yes.
competing to solve complex puzzles?
Yeah.
Using tons of computing power in the process?
Exactly. But Ethereum transitioned
Oh, wait.
to a new system
Okay.
called proof of stake
Proof of stake.
through an upgrade called the merge.
The merge.
Think of it like this.
Okay.
Instead of miners using energy to solve puzzles,
Right.
people can now stake their ether
Safe.
as a kind of security deposit
Oh, interesting.
to validate transactions.
So it's more like a collaborative effort.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Than a competitive race.
Yeah,
And this significantly reduced energy consumption.
you got it. The merge resulted in a 99.9% reduction
99.9%.
in energy usage, making Ethereum significantly more sustainable.
That's a massive improvement.
It is.
It sounds like they're really walking the walk
Yeah, they are.
when it comes to environmental responsibility. But I've also heard concerns about Ethereum's transaction fees.
Yeah.
Something about gas prices being high.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes the network gets bogged down.
Yeah, for sure.
And transactions take forever.
Yeah.
What's the deal with that?
So those are legitimate concerns.
Okay.
And they stem from the fact that Ethereum's popularity
Right.
has led to network congestion.
Makes sense.
Imagine a highway with thousands of cars
Okay.
all trying to get through at the same time.
Right.
Things are going to slow down.
Yeah.
And it's going to cost more.
So is there a way to avoid this digital traffic jam?
That's where Layer 2 solutions come in.
Layer 2 solutions. Okay.
Think of them as express lanes on that congested highway.
Okay, I get it.
They allow transactions to happen
Okay.
off the main Ethereum blockchain,
Interesting.
making them faster and cheaper.
Right?
But they still rely on Ethereum security for final settlement.
Ah, so it's like having the best of both worlds.
Exact.
Speed and security.
You got it.
But with all these different blockchains popping up,
Yeah,
why does Ethereum seem to have the edge?
that's a great question.
What makes it stand out?
One of the biggest factors is its incredible flexibility.
Flexibility. Okay.
Remember how we talk about Ethereum
Yeah.
being programmable?
Hmm.
Well, that means developers can create custom tokens for all sorts of purposes,
Okay.
way beyond just basic cryptocurrency.
Give me some examples. What kind of custom tokens are we talking about?
So there are stablecoins,
Okay.
which are designed to maintain a stable value pegged to something like the US dollar.
Oh, interesting.
Then there are tokens
Yeah.
that represent ownership of unique digital items
Okay.
in video games or virtual worlds.
Got it.
And there are even tokens that can represent real-world assets,
Like what?
like shares in a company
Oh, wow.
or physical artwork.
Wait, so I could potentially own a piece of digital art
You could.
or even a virtual piece of land through these tokens?
Exactly.
That sounds incredibly futuristic.
It is.
And that's just scratching the surface.
Yeah, that's just the beginning.
The possibilities are practically limitless,
Pretty much.
which is why Ethereum has become such a hotbed for innovation.
For sure.
It's this constant evolution and adaptation that makes it so fascinating.
It's always changing and growing.
So it's like a living, breathing ecosystem.
Yeah, I like that.
That's constantly growing and changing.
You could say that. And that brings us to another key aspect of Ethereum's success, its incredibly active and passionate community.
A community. Tell me more about that. What role do they play?
Well, Ethereum is open source, which means the code is publicly available
Okay.
for anyone to view and contribute to.
Got it.
This has fostered a global community
Wow.
of developers,
Wow.
entrepreneurs,
Yeah.
artists,
Right.
and enthusiasts
Got it.
who are all passionate about building on and improving the platform.
So it's not just a technology, it's a movement.
Yeah, for sure.
That's pretty inspiring.
It is.
But with so many brilliant minds working on it,
Yeah,
why haven't they solved all the problems yet?
it's a fair point.
Like those high gas fees we talked about earlier.
Well, developing complex systems takes time,
Okay.
especially when you're dealing with something as groundbreaking as blockchain technology.
Sure.
And there's always a balance to strike
Yeah.
between speed, security, and decentralization.
Right.
But the beauty of Ethereum is that its open and collaborative nature
Okay.
allows for constant iteration and improvement.
So it sounds like they're playing the long game, focusing on building a solid foundation for the future.
That's right. And this brings us to another crucial factor in Ethereum's success, the network effect.
The network effect. I've heard that term before,
Yeah.
but remind me what it means in this context.
So in simple terms, the more people use a network, the more valuable it becomes.
Makes sense.
In the case of Ethereum, the more developers build on it,
Okay.
the more applications are created,
Right.
which attracts more users,
Okay.
further fueling development and innovation.
Yeah.
It's a virtuous cycle
Right.
that has propelled Ethereum to the forefront of the blockchain world.
So it's not just about the technology itself, but the collective energy and creativity of the community that surrounds it.
You got it. And that's something that competing blockchains struggle to replicate.
Yeah.
Ethereum has this massive active community
Right.
that's truly passionate about building a more open, transparent, and decentralized future.
Wow.
And that's a powerful force to be reckoned with.
Yeah. I'm starting to see why people are so excited about this stuff.
Mhm.
It's not just about making money.
No,
It's about creating a whole new way of doing things,
it
a
is.
new way of interacting with the world.
You got it. And one of the most exciting areas where this is happening is in the world of decentralized finance,
Okay.
or DeFi. Imagine a financial system
Right.
that's open to everyone,
Okay.
where you have more control over your own money,
Right.
and where traditional intermediaries,
Yeah.
like banks, are no longer necessary.
DeFi. Now, that's a topic I definitely want to explore further.
For sure.
It sounds like we're just scratching the surface of what Ethereum is capable of. I'm already feeling my mind expanding,
Uh-huh.
and we haven't even gotten to the metaverse yet.
I know, right?
Well, on that note,
Yeah.
let's take a quick pause
Okay.
to let all this information sink in. We'll be back in a flash to dive even deeper into the fascinating world of Ethereum.
Sounds good.
Welcome back to our deep dive into Ethereum. Before the break, we were talking about how Ethereum is more than just a cryptocurrency.
Right.
It's a platform for building a more decentralized future. And one of the most exciting areas where this is happening is decentralized finance, or DeFi.
Absolutely. DeFi is all about reimagining traditional financial systems
Okay.
using blockchain technology.
Yeah.
It's about empowering individuals and communities
Yeah.
by giving them more control over their own finances.
Okay, I'm intrigued, but I need a bit of a reality check here. What does DeFi actually look like in practice? Can you give me some real-world examples of how it's being used?
Sure. Let's start with something most people are familiar with, lending and borrowing. Imagine a world where you could lend your money directly to others and earn interest
Right?
without needing a bank as a middleman.
Okay.
That's what decentralized lending platforms on Ethereum enable.
So I could be my own bank, essentially.
Yeah, kind of.
But how would that even work?
It's all powered by smart contracts. Let's say you have some Ether you want to lend out. Okay. You can deposit it into a smart contract on a DeFi lending platform.
Got it.
Borrowers can then access those funds,
Okay.
agreeing to pay back the loan with interest, all governed by the code of the smart contract.
So no banks, no paperwork.
Oh.
Just pure peer-to-peer lending.
That's right.
That sounds incredibly efficient.
It is.
But what about risk?
Yeah.
How can you be sure borrowers will actually repay their loans?
That's where things get interesting. DeFi platforms often require borrowers to over-collateralize their loans,
Over-collateralized.
meaning they have to put up more crypto as collateral than they are borrowing.
Okay.
This incentivizes borrowers to repay their loans
Got it.
to avoid losing their collateral.
Ah, so it's like a self-enforcing system.
Yeah, exactly.
And what about other financial services? Can you trade crypto on these DeFi platforms?
Absolutely. Decentralized exchanges, or DXs, allow users to trade cryptocurrencies directly with each other
Okay.
without relying on a centralized exchange.
Got it.
This can lead to lower fees and greater privacy.
I see. But I've always been a bit wary of the volatility of cryptocurrencies.
Sure.
Isn't that a major concern with DeFi?
It's definitely something to be aware of,
Mm-hmm.
but DeFi has also given rise to something called stablecoins.
Stablecoins.
These are cryptocurrencies that are pegged to a stable asset,
Right.
like the US dollar, to minimize price fluctuations.
So I could use stablecoins for everyday transactions
You could.
without worrying about my money suddenly losing its value.
Exactly. Stablecoins have become a crucial part of the DeFi ecosystem,
Okay.
offering a bridge between the traditional financial world
Right.
and the decentralized future that Ethereum is building.
This is all incredibly fascinating, but I have to be honest, a part of me still wonders if this is all a bit too good to be true. Are there any downsides or risks associated with DeFi?
Like any emerging technology, DeFi is not without its risks.
Right.
Smart contracts can have vulnerabilities,
Okay.
and there have been instances of hacks and exploits.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's essential to do your research, understand the risks, and only use reputable platforms.
So it's like the early days of the internet,
Yeah.
where there were both incredible opportunities
Mhm.
and potential pitfalls.
That's a good analogy. The DeFi space is still evolving, and it's crucial to approach it with caution
Right.
and a critical mindset.
Okay, duly noted. But I have to say, I'm really impressed with the ingenuity and creativity of this whole DeFi movement. It feels like we're witnessing a paradigm shift in finance.
It's truly remarkable, and it's not just about the technology itself.
Right.
It's about the people who are building it. The Ethereum community is incredibly diverse and passionate,
Yeah.
with individuals from all walks of life, contributing to this decentralized revolution.
That's what I love about this whole deep dive. It's not just about understanding the technology, it's about exploring the human stories behind it. Can you share any specific examples of individuals or projects that have inspired you in the DeFi space?
One story that comes to mind is a group of developers in a developing country
Oh, wow.
who created a DeFi platform to provide microloans to small business owners,
Okay.
many of whom were previously excluded from traditional financial systems.
Wow, that's great.
By leveraging the power of Ethereum,
Yeah,
they were able to create a more accessible and equitable financial system.
That's incredible. It's a reminder that technology can be a powerful tool for social good. But with all this talk about decentralization and disruption, it's easy to get lost in the abstract. What advice would you give to someone who's new to all this and wants to get involved in the DeFi space?
First and foremost, I would say educate yourself.
Okay,
There are tons of resources available online,
right.
from articles and videos to podcasts and online courses. Start by understanding the basics of blockchain technology and how Ethereum works.
So it's about doing your homework before jumping in headfirst.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to experiment.
Okay.
Try out different DeFi platforms, explore different applications, and see what resonates with you.
Okay.
The best way to learn is by doing.
Great advice. But I'm also thinking about the security risks we discussed earlier. How can people stay safe in this wild west of decentralized finance?
Security should always be your top priority.
Right.
Do your research before using any platform.
Okay.
And make sure you understand how to securely store your crypto assets. Be wary of scams and phishing attempts, and never share your private keys with anyone.
Okay, safety first. Got it. But with all the hype surrounding DeFi, it's easy to get caught up in the get-rich-quick mentality. What advice would you give to someone who's approaching DeFi with a purely financial mindset?
I would say temper your expectations. While there are definitely opportunities to make money in DeFi, it's important to remember that it's a high-risk, high-reward space. Don't invest more than you can afford to lose.
Okay.
And always do your due diligence before making any investment decisions.
So it's not just about chasing the next big thing, it's about understanding the technology,
Right.
the risks, and the potential long-term implications.
Exactly. The real value of DeFi lies in its potential to transform the financial system for the better,
Yeah.
making it more open, transparent, and accessible to everyone.
I love that vision, but with so much happening in the DeFi space, it can be hard to keep up. What are some of the key trends and developments you're watching closely?
One trend I'm particularly excited about is the development of Layer 2 scaling solutions. As we discussed earlier, these solutions are designed to make Ethereum faster, cheaper, and more efficient, which is crucial for the mass adoption of DeFi.
So it's all about making DeFi more user-friendly and accessible to the average person.
Precisely. Another exciting development is the ongoing work on Ethereum 2.0,
Okay.
which is a major upgrade to the Ethereum network that aims to enhance its scalability, security, and sustainability. This upgrade has the potential to take DeFi to a whole new level.
Ethereum 2.0. It sounds like a game changer. But I have to admit, I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed by all this information. What resources would you recommend for someone who wants to stay informed about the latest developments in the DeFi space?
There are some fantastic websites, newsletters, and podcasts dedicated to DeFi.
Okay.
I also recommend following thought leaders and developers on social media to get their insights and perspectives.
So it's all about staying curious and connected to this ever-evolving ecosystem.
Absolutely. The world of DeFi is constantly changing, and the best way to stay ahead of the curve is to embrace a lifelong learning mindset.
Well, I'm definitely feeling inspired to keep learning and exploring. But for now, I think it's time to take another quick pause and reflect on everything we've learned so far. We'll be back in a flash to wrap up our deep dive into Ethereum and explore one final frontier: the metaverse. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to our deep dive into Ethereum. We've explored so much already, from smart contracts and dApps to DeFi and this incredible community driving it all.
Wild, right?
But there's one more frontier we need to explore,
Okay.
one that's captured imaginations and sparked countless debates: the metaverse.
A metaverse, yeah. It's definitely one of the most buzzworthy concepts
For sure.
to emerge in recent years. Yeah.
And it's closely intertwined with the evolution of blockchain technology,
Okay.
particularly Ethereum.
I have to admit, whenever I hear the word metaverse, my mind goes to
I get it.
science fiction movies with
Yeah.
virtual reality worlds and digital avatars.
Uh-huh.
Is that even close to what we're talking about here?
You know, those sci-fi depictions can be helpful for visualization,
Okay.
But the metaverse is more of a concept than a single defined thing.
Right.
It's essentially a convergence of technologies that allows us to create and experience
Yeah.
immersive digital environments where we can interact with each other, participate in events,
Right.
and even own digital assets.
Okay, so it's not just one giant virtual world,
Yeah.
but a network of interconnected spaces?
Right.
And how does Ethereum fit into all of this?
Ethereum provides the infrastructure for true ownership
Okay.
and interoperability within these virtual spaces.
Interesting.
Remember those NFTs we talked about earlier?
Yeah.
They're essential for representing ownership of digital assets in the metaverse,
Okay.
whether it's virtual land, avatars, clothing,
Right.
or even in-game items.
So I could buy a piece of virtual land on Ethereum,
You could?
build a digital house,
Yep.
and maybe even rent it out to other users in the metaverse.
Exactly.
That's wild.
And because it's all recorded on the blockchain,
Right.
your ownership is secure and verifiable.
Okay.
You can buy, sell, or trade these virtual assets,
Wow.
just like you would physical property.
But what's the appeal of owning virtual things?
Yeah.
I can understand collecting digital art
Yeah.
or having a cool avatar,
Right.
but what's the point of a virtual house
Yeah.
if you can't actually live in it?
It's about more than just ownership.
Okay.
It's about creating and experiencing things in new ways.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine hosting a virtual party with friends from all over the world in your digital mansion,
Right.
or showcasing your NFT art collection in a virtual gallery. As virtual and augmented reality technologies continue to advance, these experiences will become even more immersive and engaging.
Okay. I can see how that would be appealing,
Yeah.
especially as our lives become increasingly digital. Are there any real-world examples of this happening right now?
Absolutely. Decentraland is a great example.
Okay.
It's a virtual world built on Ethereum,
Bye.
where users can buy and sell land, build structures, and create interactive experiences.
Got it.
You can attend concerts, visit art galleries,
Wow.
even shop for virtual clothing for your avatar,
Really?
all within this decentralized platform.
So people are actually doing this stuff right now.
Yeah, they are.
It's not just some far-off futuristic idea.
Nope, it's happening right now. And it's not just individuals.
Oh, wow.
Major brands and institutions are getting involved too. You've got companies like Nike creating virtual sneakers that people can wear in the metaverse,
Really?
and auction houses like Sotheby's holding virtual art exhibitions. The lines between the physical and digital worlds are blurring.
Yeah.
And Ethereum is playing a key role in making it all possible.
This blowing my mind. But with all this talk about the metaverse,
Yeah.
it's hard not to think about potential downsides.
Of course.
Could this lead to even more isolation,
Right.
with people spending more time in virtual worlds than
Yeah.
in the real world?
That's a valid concern.
Yeah.
And it's important to be mindful of the potential social and psychological impacts
Yeah.
of spending extended time in virtual environments.
Right.
However, the metaverse could also offer opportunities
Okay.
for connection and community building.
Yeah, that's true.
Imagine attending a virtual conference
Okay.
with colleagues from around the world,
Yeah.
or participating in a support group with people who share your interests,
Right.
regardless of physical location.
So like any technology, it's about how we choose to use it.
Exactly. The metaverse is a tool,
Right.
and its impact will depend on the intentions and values of those who build and participate in it.
Right.
It's up to us to ensure that it's used to create positive social connections,
Yeah.
foster creativity,
Uh-huh.
and promote accessibility and inclusivity.
That makes a lot of sense. But let's be honest, there's a lot of hype and speculation
There is, yeah.
surrounding the metaverse.
Yeah.
It's hard to know what to believe or where to even begin exploring this space. What advice would you give to someone who's intrigued,
Yeah.
but a bit overwhelmed by it all?
I would say start by exploring the platforms that are already out there,
Okay.
like Decentraland or the Sandbox. See what people are creating,
Right.
attend events, and get a feel for the possibilities.
Okay.
And remember, the metaverse is still in its early stages. It's a constantly evolving space. And the best way to understand it is to actively participate in its development.
That's great advice. So we've come to the end of our deep dive into Ethereum. We've covered a lot of ground. From the technical underpinnings of the platform
Yeah.
to its potential to revolutionize finance
Uh-huh.
and even reshape the way we interact with the world
Huge.
through the metaverse.
It's been quite a journey. And I hope our listeners have gained a deeper appreciation
Good
for
too.
the incredible potential of Ethereum.
Absolutely. And I think it's safe to say that Ethereum is more than just a technology. It's a movement, a vision for a more decentralized and equitable future.
I couldn't agree more. And it's a future that we can all be a part of shaping.
That's a wrap on our deep dive into Ethereum. We hope you enjoyed the exploration. Remember, the learning doesn't stop here. Keep asking questions, keep exploring, and keep diving deep into the fascinating world of blockchain technology.